And we're back. I always wanted to do that. Anyway, so what we're doing is we're writing this my attempt at writing an EDM song. And by the way, thank you for watching. I see we have 5 viewers with us. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. I hope your Saturday is going as fine as mine is, which it's going super. I'm super excited. You're trying to write EDM. I have no idea how this is going to go. I'm learning with you guys. So cheers. Right. So what? We said let's do the hi-hat, and then we will see what we can do with our mix, and like add some more elements and make it sound proper. And then maybe we can make an Maybe we can make an aggressive drop as well, or an aggressive part or something. So this is gonna be a hi-hat. This is gonna be our hi-hat one. This is what are you going to do? Is that I need some samples for a hi-hat. I need to make it interesting. Snare kick, percussion. Let's go in here. Let's check our cymbals. Closed hi-hats. Yeah, that'll do. This is good for our short hi-hat. For our main hi-hat. So what did we use here? Sorry. Hold on. So we used hi-hat 8. Like name your samples, guys. I would really appreciate having named samples so that I can remember what the heck I'm using. Like hi-hat 8 means nothing to me. Need an open one. Okay, and now we need to do our hi-hat loop. So we're gonna start off with the strong hi-hat. We're gonna do 16ths. That is a lot of food. That is a lot of calories, indeed. I want you, so this is where's my measure? Right, let me get my bearings over here. So this is my measure from 24 to 25. Right, so right at the end, I'd like this open hi-hat. So I'm like... Right, and I would really appreciate doing a crappy sort of 30-second type thing here. Wait, here. Right, and these would need to be turned down. This would need to be like this so that it has swing. Swing, baby, swing. Do it here and... Do you guys see what I'm trying to do here? Does it make sense? Okay, so the sort of trappy cut hi-hats are not blending, not playing nicely. Man, but I'm loving this swing lead. Like, I again, this is not what I was planning. This is not what I had in my head when I wanted to start out this song. But here we are. Heyo! How are you doing? It's starting to sound nice. Yeah, I think it is. So we actually, I don't know when you dropped off, but basically we kind of finished the intro just to get and everything today is just going to be to get a vibe for it, right? I can't possibly get to a point in just 4 hours where it sounds commercially viable yet, right? Or super professional. So we got a vibe for the intro. We got a vibe for the build-up, and the build-up sounds super dinky. And now what we're doing is that I'm trying to get a feel for the chorus drop, not the aggressive drop. The aggressive drop we're gonna do afterwards, but I want to get into the song. And for me to get into the song, like, I need a hook. I need a hook because I'm a simple man and I really enjoy having hummable stuff. So I'm gonna like play the whole thing. Again, we're still starting out, but just as an idea. Hold on. And that's basically what's happening. You like that drop melody? Thank you. Yeah. I played it on guitar. I tried to find it on guitar. I cannot write proper melodies on my sort of setup right now on the keyboards because I'm have the lag, but on the guitar always works for me. Yeah. So there's a problem with the hi-hat. So I'm trying to blend two samples. Like, I'm trying to use a different sample for the quick parts and a different sample for the normal 16ths, but that's not meshing properly. That's not working out properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the normal 16th sample that we use and just do it with that because it's not doing what I wanted to do. Unfortunately, I thought it would give it a more trappy feeling, but that's not actually what it's doing. So I'm gonna turn these down so it's like... That's actually doing the trappy feeling I want, so here we are. Hi-hat, I want you to be like super quick freaking triplets. And I'm gonna turn you down. Yeah, it's like a weird song. Like I think there's a genre for the type of, there is like a name for the type of electronic dance music genre that uses these types of melodies on the chorus. But for the life of me, I can't remember it. Hardstyle? Is it hardstyle? But no. Is it what? It's something. It's the one that doesn't have like snares on the drops. It's just like kick, 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 kick. And everything is like in triplet or swing. But I can't remember what it's called. Can't for the life of me. 16th triplet. Do it like here, like this, and this, and this. Okay, let's delete the hi-hat that we have there. Move it over. I deleted too much. You went too far. You went too far, Jim. I went too far. Okay, hold on. Do it like that. Big room house. No, I don't think so. I don't know. It's like super happy and it's done. I don't know. Okay, let's clean up our mix and let's turn it loud proper this time, right? So, warning, we are going to mix and we are going to master. At least just in an incipient form, just so that we have a good sound going. You know what that means? It's headphone warning time. We are going to get loud pretty soon. So this was your warning. Right. Okay, first thing I need to do, I need to fix my bloody kick. So for my drums, I'm gonna first solo my kick group. We are going to check out, we're going to stop, we're going to turn off the master here. Yes. Okay, so the problem is that this kick is so loud, is so bloody loud that it's actually like clipping everything. Dude, chill, please. -4. Okay, so first of all, we're going to check. Yeah, so we have our no worries, not gaming, no worries. Okay, so I want to turn off this frequency that is boosting the high end because I don't want to do it there. We've got our clipping over here, but I think I would like to... Let's stop that clipping. Let's open up our virtual mix rack and boost our highs there. And also put some compression, yeah? And then we're gonna distort stuff. Virtual mix rack, you wanna work with me, buddy? There you go. Have I saved? Again, since I saved like automatically like a reflex, I don't actually remember in my brain if I'm actually saving. Well, what do you use, Big Hiss? It looks complex, but it's really not. FL Studio and Cakewalk, yeah. Cool. Okay, let's turn this down. FL Studio is super cool. Cakewalk I haven't used, but I'm sure it's cool too. Okay, so let me walk you step by step so that I actually talk and not just focus. So, right, what are we doing? First thing, we carved out the super low-end content that we don't need in our kicks. Right? Because this content over here, you can't really hear it on any system, and it's just gonna make our master bus sort of not it'll react more to that, because a compressor reacts more to low-end information than to high-end information, and it's not gonna allow us to turn our master up loud. Right, the next thing we did is that we cleaned up some of the low end in the bass and snare spots, right? So, because we want to make more room for our bass and our snare low end information that usually our bass is around 100 to 200 hertz, and in the sub bass area as well, like 60 to 100. And our snare's low end usually sits at 200 for me, at least. And all I'm explaining is what I do. And you can tell me, and it's super fine if I'm wrong. You can tell me if I'm wrong. I just do it how I do it, and I'm just showing you. Another thing is that I like my kicks to be pretty well scooped. So this sort of area over here is where you will have the sort of basketball sound of a kick. Then for the high end, I'm using the virtual mix rack, just using an EQ and boosting the hell. All the living hell out of the high end, and also boosting a little bit in the 60 hertz for the low end. Right? Another thing that we're gonna do is that we are going to hold on, where is it? We are going to compress, slow attack, fast release. We're using slow attack because we want the compressor to react slower so that it doesn't kill our transient. And a fast release just so that it gets back properly. right? And we're compressing about 5 dB, so we'll boost a bit to get back our level. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to parallel compress using the Monster plugin and setting it to the big kick setting. Yeah? So all that's doing is that it's adding some parallel compression, some extreme parallel compression, right? Another thing that we want to do is that we want to clip our kick. This, I cannot stress this enough, clipping your... Oh, there's actually one more thing we need to do. We need a transient shaper, and this thing is awesome. Again, not sponsored, but this is part of the Slate Digital pack, and what it does is that it allows us to boost the attack, to create a little dip in the kick, and to boost the sustain. If we want a big-ass freaking kick. Now, I like the pump. I don't like to use the pumping a lot, but I'm going to use the sustain a little bit. Yes, the kilohertz plugins are really good. Now, another super important thing, clip your drums. So I'm just going to go to, there's a distortion plugin from kilohertz that, again, I'm going to use. See how that sounds? But I'm going to mix that in. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to use G-clip. Oh. Just cut off the peaks a little bit to make it more consistent. Let's see how that's sounding in our mix. So, and I'm gonna show you like the... Ooh, we changed the camera angle. Hey, man. How you doing, buddy? Welcome. We're writing EDM for some reason. Don't ask me why. It's fine. Don't think about it. Anyway, so we're not writing synthwave. We're not writing metal. It's EDM. We're writing EDM now. So let me show you what the processing is doing. So when you see over here this inserts bit, if it's yellow, that means I'm bypassing the effects that we just put in the kick, on the kick, in the kick, around the kick, inside the kick. Anyway, when this is yellow, that means that it's turned off. When it's blue, it means I'm turning on the effects. Here, the difference. This is why clipping and just putting high-end information, all of that, and compression, and here's like what it does. Yeah, I think that is a pretty killer kick sound to start out with, right? I'll hate it next week, don't worry about it, and we'll fix it some more later, but just right now. For all the reasons, yes. Well, actually, there is a reason. I want to practice my sound design, because the next song that we're going to do is going to be like the Doom 2016 sound, and I need to be able to do sound design properly to that, because, as well you know, doing that sound is a huge... tall order. I hate my... You got yourself a haircut and you hate yourself right now. Oh, come on. You were getting kind of scruffy. I wanted to tell you something about it. So, hey. You were getting a little bit shaggy looking, at least for you. I know you like to have like shorter hair or no hair. How short did we go this time, Mech? Like prison short or... Okay, and now for the snare. Again, just gonna just gonna go to the snare. Okay. Again, we are going to use frequency. We are going to cut out any mess, any sort of muck down. Now, unfortunately, I see that my low end for my snare is sitting a bit lower than usual. So I'll try to kind of convince it over there. Let's clean up some of that over there. Let's clean up some of the mids. Some of the mid attack, low mid attack, just to get rid of that basketball effect. It's not doing it for me. Right? Let's see if that worked. Yeah? You feel it like hitting a bit more. Yep, prison shirt is the right amount. And it's uneven in all the places like it would be in... Oh my god. I think you're stressing out too much about it, dude. And I know you don't do that. Another thing that I'd actually like to try out before actually hitting the virtual mix rack, I would like to use tape machines. I'm curious if it adds anything. Hold on. Yeah, it doesn't feel as sort of digital, right? Because that's the idea. Okay, now, virtual mix rack. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to put a virtual mix rack on it. Hit the... and for this, actually, I'm going to need a trimmer. Because I think I'm hitting pretty hard the level going in. So I'm going to just chill the snare out a little bit. And then I'm going to boost it back up. I'm going to use the FGN. And I like using the FGN. So you see that... I'm using Cubase's frequency EQ to cut frequencies because it's a more surgical and it's more digital. And I'm using the Slate plugins, like the Slate EQ, to boost high end, because if I want to add stuff to a sound, I want to add it in a way that's more analog, right? So it doesn't feel as digital. You can't hear like the exact frequency that I'm boosting. I'm just boosting high end generally, all willy-nilly, timey-wimey. And that's basically, this is why I use the Slate stuff to boost. Yeah, I don't like that, boosting that over there. Okay, and I'm gonna boost. I'm gonna boost the low end. And like boosting the, so basically what I'm doing is that I'm creating like a smile EQ on the snare. Doing like boosting, you're still kind of cutting in a way because you're reducing then the overall volume, and so I'm boosting the peaks and I'm creating like a valley in the basketball like mids. Section of the sound. Hey, thanks, Mac. Cheers, cheers. Stay safe, stay happy, stay loved, man. And I hope you have an awesome Saturday. And thank you for checking in. Don't worry, it'll be up on YouTube as well. What? I need a compressor. Like, I need a legit compressor on it. Again, slow attack, fast release. Right, I'm hitting it pretty hard. And I'm gonna boost back up the volume. Snare group is clipping though, like mad balls. We're gonna fix the levels afterwards. Don't worry, we're gonna get there. Let's use the transient designer as well. Let's give it a bit more tail. And let's distort it. Always clip your drums. Did I use parallel compression on this? I did not, did I? Let's go into the virtual mix rack and let's put in a monster as well. Not the bomber, the monster. And we're gonna go to drum group smasher. It's not really doing guitar thickener. No. Drum group aggressive. Yeah, that's more like it. I don't want it to be super present, but I want it to do something. Because now if I like turn off the virtual mix track. You see, like, this is the original sound. With our processing, it's a lot more tame, but more aggressive, more punchy, right? And I need the parallel distortion. And what the parallel distortion actually brings to the table is that it adds like more tail, more presence. It allows the snare to cut more through the mix. Right, and let's hear it in context now. Let's set our levels. So this was the sound of the snare initially, and with our processing. And like, I'd like to bring out the drop snare, the initial drop snare. This is a more dubsteppy snare, and I really like this one. As opposed to the standard sort of dubstep snare. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to check our levels. Let's make sure that our kick and our snare are hitting the same level. It's not, wait a minute, I need to open up my compressors, right? They're like reacting too much. Something is messing with it. I think, okay, so it's not coming through, like the snare. You can read that it's loud, but it's not actually coming in loud. So there's something iffy going on there. We'll see when we master it, when we like turn everything loud, maybe the snare will actually react properly. I think I just cut out too much of its low end or something like that. That might be the case. Right? Yeah, I think it was too scooped. Okay, let's leave it like this for now and we'll see how it works. Right. So, we've got our kick and our snare. Are we sitting pretty at a sort of normal volume? I think we might just have too much high end on the kick. Okay, cool. Let's move on. We're focusing too much on one thing. We need to be snappy. We need to move fast. Okay, I need to go fast. I need to be sonic, right? Anyway, right. So I've got this compressor going for me, which is the sidechain compressor, for the bass. Now, I need to get the bass sounding cool. So Okay, first thing right now, right here. First thing, you take a frequency. You switch the low end to, and I'm now going to show you the trick on how to make your low end mono and make your high end, but keep your sort of high end stereo and sort of wrapping around, right? So, we also need to distort this. Hold the phone. This is gonna be tricky. Right, so I need to distort the bass. I need to do parallel distortion, right? So I'm gonna put in this frequency at the end. Let's do a multi-pass. Okay. Okay. Look. So I'm using like a multi-pass is basically like kilohertz is sort of multi-band compressor, but it's more than that. You can put any effects on any part of the frequency spectrum. So here's what we want to do. We want the low end to stay put, and we want to distort the ever-living crap out of the high end, right? But I need to turn this on, and when I'm talking about the ever-loving stuff out of the high end, I'm talking about, I don't know, somewhere around sort of here, maybe. Maybe, we'll see. No, I'm gonna do to the whole thing. Right, so first thing, I would really appreciate having a limiter. Hey! Very well then. I would really appreciate having a limiter on the low end, right? Where are you at? Limiter. Right, and I want the in gain. Like if you got a sub, you're losing it right now. By the way, I did give you your warning that we're getting loud, so tread lightly. Our master limiter is off as well, because I need to like mix it properly before I sort of smash it with the mastering limiter. Especially when you're doing EDM, because it's very easy to mess up your gain staging by making your instruments, your individual instruments super loud, them hitting a limiter that's sort of turning down everything, and you thinking it's fine. This is why when I messed around in FL Studio, I always turned up. Yeah, exactly. So this is why I always when I messed around in FL Studio, turn off the bloody maximizer. Turn it off. Why does FL start with the maximizer? Moreover, I've never been able to make the maximizer sound well as a limiter, right? So turn it off. Just turn it off. Just use a proper mastering limiter. You know, something where proper. Everything is proper. What the hell do I know? But you know what I mean. Right, so amp distortion. Yeah, there you go. Right, so what am I doing? I'm using a limiter on the low end so that the low end stays fixed as much as possible. But I am using on the high end distortion to kind of smooth everything over and to make sure that the bass is audible when you're listening on a phone speaker or small headphones or stuff like that, yeah? And I'm gonna use a limiter here to kind of tame everything as well. I'm also turning everything super bloody loud. Yeah? Right, now, here's the kicker. Ideally, you would split the bass information into low end and high end, and on the high end you'd put an amp. This is usually what I do when I'm working with actual bass, like with actual guitars and bass and stuff. But this is not what we're doing here. And I'm just doing it quick and dirty. really, because I just want to sort of move on as quickly as possible. And you see that we got a lot of high-end information now in our bass. If we turn the multipass off, you see how weak that is? We've got this here, though. I don't know what that frequency is. And I'm sorry for all the dogs in your house right now, by the way. They probably did not enjoy that. I'm just gonna clean that up. That frequency can just go to hell. Right, so keeping your bass mono and your low end mono. That hurt. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. That hurt me a little bit too. I turned it off. Anyway, it should be clean now. Yeah, we're good. Anyway, so here's what we're doing. So for this band, for the low end, we are using a mid side EQ. We're using the mid channel. And we're going on the mid channel, and on the mid channel, we're gonna sort of cut the low end pretty aggressively, even a little bit of the 60 hertz where our kick sort of hits, so that so that the bass and the kick don't fight too much in that low end spectrum. Right? Moreover, we are going to cut. No, hold on. No. Okay, moreover, on the stereo channels, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut even more aggressively all the low-end content. But you're not losing low-end content. Actually. Because everything is still present on the mid channel. Now let me show you how that interacts with the drums. If I didn't have this processing, yeah, that might be too much distortion on the high end though, so I'm just gonna turn that down a little bit, yeah? Let's just... Okay. And now, let's make a more interesting bass line. What? We're changing the bass line, but I thought we're mixing, Dan. Yes, this is just how it goes. So, give me all of this. Right? And I also, in order for the compressor to hit properly on the bass, and we're gonna put a compressor on it as well, don't worry about it. Let me just edit it in one place, and just so that if it does the thing properly. All right, so we're gonna put a compressor on the bass. Now, in order for it to hit properly, it needs gaps, so it's gonna be like... something like this. Right, and I would need to back this up with the... Actually, hold on. So I need to do something interesting here, but I don't know what, really. It's just a boring progression. Wait, there's like it's like a hit here. Oh, and I just forgot it. I wanted to also do something else on the snare. We'll get there. Hold on. Right, so this actually is... I'd like to do something more interesting here, but I guess we're just gonna follow the progression. In the end, there's nothing super wrong with doing that. So I guess we're just gonna go with it. Right, and we're just gonna go with that. And there's also another thing that I want to do on the snare. I want to add in like a counter snare. Let me just... like a counter trap snare. Almost forgot to do this because it was something that I really wanted to try out actually. So snare group. Trap snare. Trap snare. Yo, Iridian. Oi. Oi, Iridian. How you doing? How you feeling, mate? How you feeling, lass? You still with us? You okay there? You okay there, buddy? Are the mods asleep? Yep, this is the one I want. Hold on, hold on. Is this what I'm looking for? Let me just turn it down. That's the thing. Right, and just... this is exactly what I'm looking for. Want these to be... but I don't know if I want to send them to the like snare bus because they might like trigger the sidechain compression or something, but I think that sounds pretty cool. It's another sort of jumpy element that we can use on the chorus to make it hooky, yeah? Because I'm all about them hooks, yo. Yo. Dude. What? So, hold on. So this is like beat 1, 2, this is like bar 1, bar 2. We're cool on that front. Oh, and this is gonna be... what? Oh, this is where they should be. I'm sorry. My brain. Yeah, so I think we have a pretty cool relationship between our kick and our bass. I can feel it sort of pop. The other thing that I could do is I could accentuate its attack with like a transient shaper before the frequency, of course, and just bump up its attack a little bit. Right, I'm bumping up the 808's attack. Which I think works pretty nicely. Now let's check our volumes. So our drums are sitting at -6. The bass is a bit quiet, but that'll get bumped up significantly. We've also got the hi-hats that we should actually fix. And we're just gonna fix with a big old Cubase EQ. And just high pass. High pass the ever-living crap out of it. And I just need to clean up the extreme highs. Low pass. There you go, buddy. Okay. And turn down, of course, the hi-hat itself. Because you know how I hate my hi-hats. Okay. So you can see that right now we are touching that level that I've been talking about when we started mastering, mixing, whatever the heck we're doing. Our RMS, and I don't know why I'm pointing at the screen, our RMS is around -20 and our peak max should be around -6, -8, so that we have headroom to turn everything super loud afterwards. Now, it's still not super cool because I'm going to like force a lot of stuff to make this work, but it's in the general ballpark. It's not the final mix, it's not the final master. We just need to get it loud and pumping and to get us in the vibe, man. So let's get our leads in. And these, I hope, won't be too loud. So let's take off all the solos. Let's turn down the hold on. Just so that I am safe here, let me select every lead synth here. And let's sort of select the chill super saw, all of that. Let's just end the lead verb and let's just turn it down a little bit, just a little bit. Right. Those are pretty okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm just going to, as a safety measure, just clean up some of the low end on the synths, on the lead synths, because you don't need super low end on lead synths, just so that we have some more headroom here. Right, now we're mastering, we're turning everything loud. This is your final warning, let's do this. Okay, first things first. I'm gonna need a frequency. I'm gonna need, and last things last, our mastering bus. Our mastering limiter, FGX, is just going to be there just for safety reasons. First thing, we want to clean up our low end as much as possible. We are going to use a mid side again, just so that we can be sure that our middle channel has low end information and our side channels do not have low end information as much as possible. Right, especially when it comes to sub. If you want your track to like sort of work in a club, everybody says that you got to have your low end in mono. So this is what we're doing here. What else? I would really appreciate using a mid side and sort of bumping up the low end on the mid here for the bass. Hey-o, horseradish, you back, mate? Welcome back. Right, and I'm bumping like 5 dB of low end, and I'm taking out 5 dB of low end, just so that we're sure we're safe there. Right, and let's see what that's doing. And I'm taking out some of the low mids, just so that it's cleaner. Because I like a scooped sound. Now we're going to do, and I'm just gonna turn down the Cubase a little bit, and I hope you can hear me over the music because I need to explain as I do it. Right, for the high end, we are going to turn this into a mid side, and what we're going to do is that we are going to, for the mid channel, we are going to take out high-end information for the middle channel. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to our side channel and boost high-end information. Right, I'm gonna boost with around 5 dB. We're gonna take out around 5 dB. Yeah, it's gonna be extreme, but it's gonna work. Wait. There you go. That way you can hear that in the side channels you're actually getting more high-end content, and it's giving out that stereo field, that stereo sort of width vibe. Another thing. What do we want to do? We want a multi-band compressor to sort of control. And you see this multi-band compressor working a lot. That's not what you want. Yes, it is Horseradish, where we wrote a chorus for it. And what we want to do with this multi-band compressor is just, we want it to sort of lightly touch and sort of even stuff out, right? So it's just gonna be like not minus 1.5. Yeah, you see it's touching the low end just a little bit, controlling things before we hit our sort of master bus compressor. Yeah, that's the idea. Sure, Big Hiss. So the idea is that I'm using a mid-side EQ. And when we use stereo widening, when we're just going to use a little bit, it's going to accentuate this even more. So basically, I'm using, like for the low end, I'm doing, for example, on the mids, I am cutting low end up to like 50-ish. For the sides, I'm cutting up to 168 because I do not want bass content in my sides. I want it in the middle as mono as possible. For the high end, I'm sort of boosting, like I'm boosting high end on the sides and I'm cutting high end on the mids. It makes everything seem a bit wider, yeah? Okay. What else? So let's... Yeah, it's crazy. And I'm using the Cubase built-in EQ to do this. You'd think you need like Fab Filter or something, or even Slate's Infinity EQ, but you don't. You might already have in your DAW, I don't know if FL Studio does, but you might already have like a mid-side EQ already. Cubase has one, and that's super cool, so I'm gonna use that. Right, so, and again, we're just using this multi-band compressor just so that we can tame things a little bit. I don't want to see huge reductions over here, yeah? And I'm just giving it a bit of space with the attack, and so the release is super quick, so it doesn't feel, you don't feel the compression necessarily, but the attack is pretty quick, but still it has a bit of a delay so that you feel the punch, right? Right. Once that is done, what I'd seriously appreciate is what we need to use our gray compressor. Gray compressor? It was the gray, right? We are going to use no, this is not the one. The red compressor from Slate. We are going to set it to a CLA Rock HP. Right, and I want to see it reacting to the snare mostly. Which I think it is. The delay is making it really hard for me to tell, but we're gonna leave it at that. And now we are going to use Ozone Stereo Imager. Just boost the stereo a little bit. Do I know any free or cheap mid-side EQs? No. No, I do not. But there should be something. Like, let me Google that for you. Free mid-side EQ VST. Mid-side EQ. For free. Submit search. I found 2 on KVR. There is one that's a bit more old school. But yeah, try that. Unfortunately, I am just using my DAWs, so if you have the Slate, if you had the Slate stuff, which I highly recommend, it's like 16 or 20 bucks a month. Not sponsored, just love them. Just use them all the time. I seriously recommend you if you get that, like you've got the Infinity EQ in there, which is their proprietary EQ, and it has mid-side functionality and a cool interface. It's pretty sleek. Now, before we hit the imager, and I want to hit the imager as the last thing before the mastering limiter, I need a virtual mix rack, and what we're gonna do. Oh, and there's one more thing actually. I want virtual tape machine is the word I'm looking for. And don't forget, when you're using virtual tape machines, turn off the noise reduction, right? I'm just gonna leave it like that, and I'm gonna use virtual mix rack to boost some stuff in a more analog way. First of all, how loud are we getting? -3. Okay, I still have a bit of headroom to go. Right, I'm gonna turn down a little bit everything because it's gonna mess with my ears. And I'm gonna turn down the music for you guys as well. We'll turn it back up because we're gonna be limiting anyway. So first things first, I would really appreciate a mix bus, the virtual mix bus. Right, and what this does is that it emulates an old analog SSL console, right? Like the British one, the SSL 4000K or something. Yeah. And I want to use it because, and let me unlink. Right. So hold on a sec. I need to trim this because we've got a lot of low end coming in, right? No, we're fine. Right, so what are we doing? I'm using an emulation of an old SSL console so that it takes away some of that sort of super digital feeling, right? And I'm taking down the level right over here with the output. Now, what you want to see is you do not want to see this pinned all the time. Unfortunately, it's getting a bit pinned because there's a lot of low end. And we might need to put in a separate compressor to kind of chill that out. Right. Another thing that I would super appreciate doing is that I would like... Where are you at? Revival. So this is a magic plugin. I'm just going to add a bit of shimmer and a bit of thickness. Right? And now, how are we sitting? We're at -7 dB and -17 RMS. Now we're gonna turn up loud. Let's do it. Turn down for what? Okay. So here, I'm gonna leave the attack and release. The attack as slow and the release as pretty quick for the mastering compressor. And we only want to touch this a little bit. Just so that it catches any other peaks at the end, yeah? I'm gonna set the transients to more transients, just smack dab in the middle. I'm gonna use constant gain monitoring, and I'm gonna explain that as well in just a second. I'm gonna set perception to mid, and I'm gonna set ITP to hard. This means that it'll react more aggressively to like transients and hits and bass and subs and stuff like that. So it'll be like more modern in a way. Now, constant gain monitoring means that I can turn up the gain on my limiter as much as possible, but I will have the same level. This is important to do to check if you're distorting stuff because of your level. Yeah, I can hear it distorting there. So we need to turn that down. We've got a problem happening there. on the bass. So if we go to our bass, to our what multipass here. But I kind of dig it with the distorting. So we can't really boost too much. We would need to kind of handle our low end much more aggressively. Okay, that's a bit much. And unfortunately, since we're not super well mixed, I can't turn this too loud. But okay, I'm gonna turn off constant gain monitoring, and it's gonna be loud. Check it. Watch out. Here it comes. Okay, and now I can turn my volume back up louder. I'd really like to turn this even louder. So let's check. Let's listen from the top, and let's see how it sounds now with a little bit of mixing and mastering, yeah? It's not a whole lot. I'm going to turn it a bit louder. See how that fares. And that's basically what we have so far. What do you guys think? And I'll stop the video for YouTube. Thank you for watching on YouTube.